Yeah, welcome once again today. I remain Victor Odigoma Ohe. In our discussion today, we are still looking at Waec examinable questions from geometric progression. All right, we have done a lot of solvings yesterday or in the last class we did, and we're almost concluding geometric progression. I advise you, if you are not part of those classes, is good for you to check out on them as well, so that you can be able to follow what we are going to be doing in this question. This is why question of 2013. All right, let's look at what it is all about. In this question, the question says, if in bracket 3 minus x, comma 6, in bracket again 7 minus 5, 7 minus 5x are consecutive terms of a geometric progression, with r is expected that r in this question is going to be greater than 0. So they say find the value of x and that common ratio. That's the question that is asked here. All right, we are quickly going to delve into this matter and see how possibly we can be able to resolve it. Okay, I'll be very elaborate because I don't want to do magic here. It's mathematics. All right, solution. All right, so you start from what is given. If you check out on this, we don't, this first term is not known, this is the second term. Okay, that's the second term, and this is the third term. So if I say, let me, in last class I was talking about an access point, that every mathematical question, you must find an access point, a point through which you can penetrate that question and start resolving some things. So you realize that here, that if we say that t 2 being a r raised power 2 minus 1, okay, the common ratio here is unknown. The first term is unknown, so the second term, can you see, is 6. So invariably we are going to be looking for two things at a time. So it's a serious challenge. That's why we are not going to pass here, otherwise we may not be able to get it. Okay, so I'm thinking that where we are going to pass through will be having written the mathematical expression that Tn is equals to a r raised by n minus 1. Okay, here we say that the common ratio, which I explain as later over divided by former, as I was explaining here, will be 6 over 3 minus x. Okay, and if you check it out again, you also realize that the same common ratio r will be over here, over this interval, will also be 7 minus 5x over 6. You can call this equation 1 and call this equation 2. Okay, that's my access point, and I'm thinking you understand what, what the explanation, how I'm using common ratio idea to penetrate. That's what I'm trying to leverage. Okay, so you see that the common ratio, this over this, I can also do it between here and here, and I will generate two equations. And with these two equations, I will say, since r is common, okay, since r is common, what I'm going to do now is I will equate them. That is equation 1 and 2. I will equate them. So I will have 6 over 3 minus x is equals to 7 minus 5x all over 6. So that I can be able to simplify this, I will now cross multiply. cross multiply. If I cross multiply, I'm going to have 3 minus x in bracket multiplying 7 minus 5x equals to 6 times 6, which is 36. We are heading towards a quadratic equation. Prepare your mind anyway. There's nothing to fear. Just relax. I will take you through it gradually. All right. So we open this bracket. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times this minus 5x will give minus 15x. Then I'll go with this. Minus x times 7 minus 7x. Minus x times minus 5x will give plus 5x squared. Okay? Don't be worried about the breeze. We are in the season here right now around this December is Hamatan. Okay. So we say equals to 36. All right, I'll collect the like terms. If I collect the like terms, I'll bring this term forward so that it can be 5. It can be 5x squared. Then minus 15 minus 7x will give me minus 22x. Yes, minus 15 minus 7. If I put 7 in here, it will be 22. Minus 22x. Then I will bring over plus 21. Then bring over minus 36 equals to 0. Okay? I'm sure you follow that. Please check it out again. Check it out again. So, this and this can still come down. 21 minus 36. Let me say 36 minus 21. That's 15. So this will be minus 15. So let me continue over here. So I am having now 5x squared minus 22x then minus 15 equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. And I am going to use the quadratic formula as fast as possible. I can check if it is factorizable, but there's no time for that. When I'll be discussing algebra here, we will go deep down inside that. All right. So let me deploy the quadratic formula in solving this. In the quadratic formula, we say that x is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Here, a is 5, b is minus 22, and c is minus 15. So I'm going to substitute them inside here to have my x. You know, they say find the value of x. So, and the r, condition that r is greater than 0. So here we go. We will have x equals to minus b minus into minus 22. Please take note that this minus is from the expression, so it has to be there. You put your minus, the value of b, okay, then plus or minus. Be careful with all these things. These are the things that, little mistakes. So little foxes that destroy your vineyard. All right, let's go. So minus 22 squared minus 4 times a 5 times again c minus 15 all over 2 times a here, a 5 times 5. So I will gather them. This is now 22 plus 22. So I'll have 22 plus or minus inside this place. 22 squared 22 raised to power 2, 484, 484. Minus times minus will become plus. 4 times 5, 20. 20 times 15. 20 times 15, 300. 300 over 10. 484 plus 300 plus 484. 784. 784. So I now have x equals to 22 plus square root of, am I too fast to bring this thing in now? Let me make it plus or minus yet. Okay, square root of 784 over 10, or okay, let me move on, comma x, let me do it over here. X is equals to 22. Let's check the square root of 784. Square root of 784 is 28. So it will be either we are adding 22 to the square root of this, which is 28 over 10, or x will be 22 minus 28 over 10. So within here, 22 plus 28 will give us 50. Yeah, it should be 50 plus 22. That's 50. And 50 permits me not to write x equals to 50 over 10. I hope you are still seeing this. And that will give us equals to 5. Or x equals to this side minus 22 minus 28. 28 minus 22, even though it will be negative, is, so I have minus 6 over 10, and that will be, I think if I reduce this, it will be minus 3 over 5. So it is either x is 5 or x is minus 3 over 5. But we are going to verify that, because still we are going to be looking for the x that will give us an r that is greater than 0 according to the condition given there. Permit me a second to tidy up this. An r that is greater than 0, can see that here? An r that is, be checking out what I did over there as well. Okay, an r that is greater than 0. So let's test in what we have here for r. R is either this or r is either this, but we're looking for the one that will be greater than 0. So when x is 5, when x is 5, we check r being 6 over 3 minus 5, and that will give us 6 over minus 2, which is minus 3. This is not the x we are talking about. So because this should give us r that is greater than 0. This r now, sorry, this r is less than 0. All right, so we check again when x is minus 3 over 5. I'm trusting God all my explanations are well understood. I desire that so much. Let it not be that I'm doing some entertainment here. Oh my God. So let's look at when x is minus 3 over 5, x being minus 3 over 5. Okay, we substitute it inside here again. Of course, in both should give the same result. So what we are going to have is an r equals to 6 over 6 over 3 minus Then you put what this x is, minus 3 over 5. Okay. Now you realize that this will give us an r that is 6 over 3 plus 3 over 5. If we simplify this denominator, let's see what it's going to give us. We will have here, let's say this is over 1. LCM here is 5. So 1 into 5 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 into 5 is this, plus 5 into 5 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. So we have 18 over 5 as the denominator here. So we can proceed and say r is equals to, bring this forward, 6 over, or let me write it anyway, 18 over 5. So let me rearrange it in a way it will be very clear to you. So we will now have r equals to 6 divided by 18 over 5. So this will be 6 times 5 over 18. This will cancel itself. 1 cancel here, 3. 3. Do you realize that our r here is 5 over 3, which is around one whole number 2 over 3. This is greater than what? It's greater than 0. So the value of r is 5 over 3, and the corresponding value of x is minus 3 over 5, according to the requirement of the question, that r should be greater than 0. I'm sure you followed all this explanation. Please look at it again and again and again. Look at it again. From generating those two equations, I cross multiplied, I got a quadratic equation, and I chose to use formula method to solve it. Substituted all these values and then brought them down, simplified them, and got two values for x, either x being 5 or x being minus 3 over 5. And then I tried to see what, according to what the question gave as a condition, that the common ratio is greater than 0. I started testing the values of x to see which one is greater than 0. Substituted this, and then I was able to get minus 3. This minus 3 is for r is less than 0. So I rejected it, went for the second value of x from that is solving, and then I was able to get an r that is greater than 0. So this should be the corresponding value of x there. So I am sure that this solving and this explanation is well detailed. I'm sure it is well detailed. You look at it again and again. Okay, you can watch the video over and over again so that you can understand. My aim is to make impact, not to entertain you. Okay, so that you can be able to stand and write your exams by yourself. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I remain Victor Odigoma Ohia. Please subscribe to this channel and share to your friends out there. Like what you are doing and support us in your own way. God bless you.